In August 1941, the world watched with bated breath. World War II raged across Europe and Asia. Amidst the chaos and carnage, a glimmer of hope emerged. Two leaders united by a common purpose met in secret. US President Franklin D. Roosevelt and British Prime Minister Winston Churchill chose a secluded location. They met aboard the battleship HMS Prince of Wales, anchored in Placentia Bay, Newfoundland. Their mission was clear: to chart a course for a better future. The result of their historic meeting was the Atlantic Charter. The Atlantic Charter was more than a document. It was a beacon of hope in a world shrouded in darkness. It was a testament to the enduring power of diplomacy and collaboration. This meeting of minds, taking place even before the United States formally entered the war, underscored the high stakes at play. The Atlantic Charter was forged in the crucible of conflict. World War II, the deadliest conflict in human history, had engulfed the globe. Nazi Germany, under the iron fist of Adolf Hitler, had unleashed a wave of aggression across Europe. The horrors of the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of Jews and other minorities, were already underway. Imperial Japan, driven by militaristic ambitions, had expanded its empire aggressively in Asia. The world desperately needed a vision for a different future, a future free from fear and want. The Atlantic Charter provided that vision. It articulated a set of principles for a just and lasting peace, principles that would resonate long after the guns of war fell silent. The Atlantic Charter was grounded in 8 core principles. These principles, though articulated in the midst of war, transcended the immediate conflict. They spoke to universal aspirations for freedom, security, and prosperity. The first principle renounced any territorial ambitions by the United States or the United Kingdom. This commitment was crucial to assuage concerns about the victors carving up the post-war world for their own gain. The second principle affirmed the right of all peoples to self-determination. This principle, revolutionary for its time, challenged the legitimacy of empires and colonialism. The Charter also called for freer trade, economic cooperation, and improved labor standards. It envisioned a world where nations worked together to address common challenges and create a more equitable global order. The principle of self-determination, enshrined in the Atlantic Charter, was a radical departure from the prevailing norms of international relations. For centuries, empires had ruled over vast territories, often subjugating and exploiting the local populations. The Charter's affirmation of self-determination challenged this imperial order at its core. It declared that all people, regardless of their race, religion, or ethnicity, had the right to choose their own destiny. This principle had a profound impact on the post-war world. It fueled independence movements across Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean, leading to the dismantling of European empires and the birth of dozens of new nations. Section 5. Free trade and economic cooperation, fostering global prosperity. The Atlantic Charter recognized that lasting peace requires more than just the absence of war. It demands economic prosperity and social justice. The Charter called for the fullest collaboration between all nations in the economic field with the object of securing, for all, improved labor standards, economic advancement, and social security. This commitment to international economic cooperation was a direct response to the economic turmoil of the Great Depression, which had ravaged the world in the 1930s. The Charter's vision for a more open and equitable global trading system laid the groundwork for the creation of institutions like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. These institutions, established in the aftermath of World War II, aimed to promote economic stability and development worldwide. Section 6. Shaping the post-war world, the enduring legacy of the Atlantic Charter. The Atlantic Charter was not a legally binding treaty. It was, however, a powerful statement of principles that had a profound impact on the shaping of the post-war world. The Charter's vision of a world founded on international cooperation, respect for national sovereignty, and a commitment to peace and security resonated deeply with war-weary populations. The Charter's principles were enshrined in the United Nations Charter, signed in 1945. The United Nations, with its mission to maintain international peace and security, promote social progress and uphold human rights, stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of the Atlantic Charter. The Charter also influenced the development of other key international agreements, including the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the Geneva Conventions. Section 7, From Open Door to Global Cooperation, Echoes of the Past. The principles articulated in the Atlantic Charter were not entirely new. They drew upon earlier efforts to promote international cooperation and a rules-based world order. One such example is the open door policy, first articulated by the United States in the late 19th century. The open door policy advocated for equal trade opportunities for all nations in China, opposing spheres of influence that would carve up the country among foreign powers. While the open door policy had its limitations and was often inconsistently applied, it reflected a growing recognition of the importance of international cooperation and the need to prevent any one nation from dominating global affairs. The Atlantic Charter, in its call for freer trade and economic cooperation, echoed this earlier commitment to a more open and equitable world order. Section 8. The New Atlantic Charter Confronting 21 Century Challenges. In June 2021, 80 years after the original Atlantic Charter, US President Joe Biden and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson signed the New Atlantic Charter. This updated charter, acknowledging the profound global transformations since 1941, sought to address the challenges of the 21st century. The New Atlantic Charter reaffirmed the core principles of the original document, emphasizing the importance of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. It also addressed emerging challenges such as climate change, cybersecurity, and disinformation, recognizing the need for international collaboration to address these global threats. Section 9, A Timeless Vision, the Enduring Relevance of the Atlantic Charter. The Atlantic Charter, though drafted in the midst of a global cataclysm, continues to hold relevance in the 21st century. Its principles of self-determination, international cooperation, and a commitment to peace and security remain as vital today as they were in 1941. The world today faces a myriad of complex challenges, from climate change and pandemics to economic inequality and political polarization. These challenges transcend national borders and require global solutions. The Atlantic Charter, with its emphasis on dialogue, collaboration, and a shared vision for a better future, offers a roadmap for navigating these turbulent times. The Charter's enduring legacy lies in its reminder that even in the darkest of hours, hope can emerge, and a better world is possible if nations work together toward a common goal.